On today's show, a company that isn't Facebook is also working on Wi-Fi drones.
A room that can take you anywhere in the world you want to go. Well, kind of.
Yeah. And smart hair. That's pretty much it. It's smart hair.
Okay.
Weird. It's Tomorrow Daily. Greetings, citizens of the internet. Welcome to Tomorrow Daily, the best geek talk show in the known universe. I am your host, Ashley Esqueda. Join me as always on a Monday, Khail Anonymous.
Freshly after this weekend of extreme media. There's so much stuff to watch.
I was going to say, it's like extreme Coachella.
I didn't even get to go outside that much between Game of Thrones, Daredevil,
Silicon
Coachella,
Valley.
Silicon Valley, Last Man on Earth.
Yeah, Mad Men. It's all coming down.
But I'm done now, and we can actually talk about what's going on in the world.
So
let's do that.
Let's do that. Let's hit the headlines. Okay, so we know Facebook is working on internet drones. We talked about that like a couple weeks ago.
It's cray, but yeah.
Which is really insane that there's going to be, I feel like this is now going to be a trend after reading this story because there is now another company working on internet drones. So I have this dystopian image of drones flying in the sky, like giving us internet. It's so weird. So this company, Quarkson, has completed a test flight, and they actually have video of this. It's not just them saying at a conference, like, oh, hey, like, we did this. This is their Sky Orbiter drone, and this is actually a model. So it's a small model of what the actual drone, these are like big drones. So remember we talked about the wingspan of the Facebook drone? It was like the size of a Boeing 737, the wingspan?
Yeah, it's serious.
Yeah. So these ones are pretty similar to that. Like they have really big wingspans. This is where they did it. They said they don't want to say where because they tested it in a secret location.
Ooh.
Because the country they live, the Portuguese government is like, we don't like this. We don't approve of it. So I don't know where exactly they did this test. But this is the video of it, and they said it went really well. They said that obviously they had kind of a makeshift runway and didn't really have like an optimal setting to do the test in, but they said it went well enough and they were able to beam down a Wi-Fi signal, which is pretty cool.
All right.
And they said that these drones that they are planning on, they want to keep them in the sky for weeks, months, or even years. These are solar-powered drones, the same as Facebook's. And they did get information to optimize the prototype, but they didn't spend a whole lot of time in the sky. I think because they didn't want anybody to know really that was kind of what they were doing. So, and their CEO thinks that mass production of these could start in 4 to 6 months, which is pretty soon.
Yeah.
And that's like a Kickstarter. It's like 4 to 6 months delivery. And then he also thinks, and this is kind of unfortunately, I guess, for Quarkson, he thinks that they're going to have to move their company either partially or entirely out of the country to be able to actually move forward with these drones, because there are a lot of governments that kind of frown on this. Like they're not real keen on the idea that, we don't want kind of these drones flying around in the sky, giving people internet access. It's like I kind of understand because I'm sure there's a concern of like espionage or hacking them and then like crashing them into stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of countries that are not too thrilled about it. So they're saying they might have to leave Portugal.
How do they expect to keep them in the air if Portugal doesn't want them in the air?
Yeah, they want to go to another country where the government's like more willing to let them test.
So they want to do it in a different country, realistically, not Portugal.
Well, yeah, it might have to end up being that they go to a different country and only do it there. But, there are other countries, I'm sure, where they wouldn't move their company, but they'd be able to take the drones there and say, well, we'd like to offer you the opportunity to have these drones bring Wi-Fi to people who otherwise can't have internet.
Did they ever say how good the Wi-Fi is from these things?
So I've been hearing a pretty varied range on speeds. Like I think a lot of them are kind of like LTE-ish speeds,
That's pretty okay.
Pretty okay. Like they're not. You're not getting like 2G. It's not. You're not going to be so frustrated now. It's no Google Fiber. Or it's no FiOS. It's no fiber internet. But it's very reasonable, pretty okay. And for a lot of these sort of underserved areas, they're not going to be running around with a whole bunch of, Galaxy Note 4s and iPhone 6 Pluses. They're going to have feature phones that are inexpensive, kind of these like entry models that you see from Microsoft and like Windows Phone, and then Android has kind of these like emerging market devices. So I think that's kind of what you would see.
All right.
Which is totally usable then. So there you go.
Cool. Well, that's yeah. So it's Facebook, and then these guys that are working. Also Google, right?
Google's doing Project Loon with the remote control balloons that give internet.
That's the worst name.
It's Loon. Loon. It makes me feel so whimsical.
It's because of the balloon, right? Yep. That's the okay. Still dumb. All right, so let me tell you about Singaplural. All right,
Singaplural. That's
Singaplural. Very clever name because it's hosted in Singapore, and it is a convention celebrating design. Ooh. So we have one thing that came out of this that really kind of impressed us, and it was actually a booth done by Airbnb. If you don't know, that is an online B&B bed and breakfast thing where you can like book somebody's house.
Or like an apartment, or
all over the world.
All sorts of everywhere.
Just anywhere.
Pretty awesome.
So they decided to show that off by showing you one room that could be any number of rooms.
Oh, okay.
So here it is. Basically what they have here is they designed this one white room that just has a bed and a couch and a TV, and it's all white, but they use a projector to project what it would look like in different locations.
Oh.
So they do a lot of exotic locations. It's really cool.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, they do. There's different stops. The first stop is Bali.
Okay.
You'll see tropical images, bamboo screen, and the ocean outside your window. Then they go to Malaysia. Then they go to Paris. You can see it swapping to different locations.
I love this.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, it looks like a little hut on the outside. You go to Paris and you can see the Eiffel Tower outside. Then you go to Tokyo and there's sliding screens. It's just a creative ad. It doesn't look like they're like trying to make this like a destination.
Yeah.
But you can see there's the room without any of the projections on it. And then when they show the projection.
Even the TV is a projection.
Yeah, look, there's
crazy.
I assume that's Bali.
How funny.
But yeah, there you go. This is so it's basically just to show off Airbnb.
And these are real locations, right? Mm-hmm. These are actual places you can like book on Airbnb, which is, I like that. I think that's pretty awesome. Mm-hmm.
So there you go. It's just a creative way to do advertising, but it's also kind of like a cool look at how you can use future tech.
I like that.
Would you put this? That's what my bedroom looks like.
I was going to say, like, would you put this in I would love to have something like that in like a bedroom or the living room or something.
But mine would be messed up.
I was going to say,
mine would be like
Fallout,
boom,
it's like
horror,
post-apocalyptic,
Fallout,
Hostel. You're like, I'm the worst.
One, it's just clown faces. Like mine would be like,
well, it's relaxing. Kale's nightmare fuel. Just like, nope, you can't sleep in this room. Well, that actually brings us to our hashtag of the day, which is TD Stay. And the question is exactly what we were just talking about. If you could put this in your bedroom, what would you have it? What would you have these projections show? Yeah, what would you want to project?
So it would be like the dream room that you could. Now a lot of people would probably expect me to say pizza, but I would feel saddened by this and wouldn't be able to eat any of the things around me.
It's too much.
Can't do it. So no, mine would probably be something terrifying. Like it would be an alarm clock for me.
Okay.
It would be, you know how that we talked about the thing that projects a light on your face that wakes you up. Well, imagine like I sometimes have trouble getting out of bed. Imagine if I woke up and everything was clown faces, horrible, scary clown faces. I'm like, "Blah!" Get out of the room, run into the shower,
you're awake. You're welcome.
And I'm ready to go. So I guess my answer is clown faces.
That's a very interesting alarm clock that I think says a lot about you.
What about you?
I think I would go with, kind of a weird tangent story. I'll try to keep it short. Went to this restaurant one time, and I think it was called Atlantis. And on the walls, they had, I don't think they were projections. I think they were actual like screens that were built into the walls. Mm-hmm. And they had 3 different areas that you could go to. You could go to Atlantis, you could go to the Serengeti, or you could go to, I don't remember the third one. But it was like a living, the one that I was in was a savannah. So it was like, you sat down to eat, and the sun would rise and the sun would set, and you would see animals that actually live in Africa, like walking through, go to the water hole, like everything. You'd see lions like chasing after gazelles and stuff. It was a very realistic depiction of that world. And I thought that was so cool at the time. I want to say, God, I was like 16 when I saw this.
Oh my God,
but this
super
is
outdated.
So much better. But I feel like that would be so cool to be able to see, like, I love the Airbnb idea of being able to pick a city, but being able to watch it maybe from the outside in real time, like where you can watch people like walking or...
real time would be cool, like a live feed.
Yeah, like a real time satellite feed from like inside a different place in a different part of the world. So it's like, today I would like to be in Australia, and then it's like you hit the Australia button and there's a live feed for the windows that show you like what's happening right outside, like in Sydney or something. I think that would be really cool. So I would go with like live public webcams all over the world where you could like pick different locations, and it would give you the interior. That would give you an idea of like what the architecture was like in that city, in that place. And maybe you could also pick a time period. So you would say like, I would like to stay in the Edo period in Japan. And you could go way back and you stay in these like big elaborate sort of houses. And it's like the time, you can see samurai training out in the yard and like all this stuff. Like that would be awesome. So sort of a time machine.
So you didn't have a very short answer to that.
No, I didn't.
Yours wasn't like clown faces.
No. To wake me up, no.
I'd also like to interject that mine could be fire too. Everything could be on fire.
Everything could be on fire.
I wake up and I'm scared because everything's on fire. See, I'm telling you, it's limitless. TD, stay. Tell us where you would stay. All right.
I really love that idea. It's so funny to me. Okay, so the very last one. This is smart hair. It's called hairwear, and
okay. Great transition.
I responded the same as you did, where you're like, okay, like not sure. Sounds a little weird. But this actually has the potential to kind of be something cool. Like I thought this was sort of neat. So Katie Vega is the researcher in charge of this. She created a hair extension with a capacitive wire inside of it. So you can use these little hair extensions as a touch input for your smartphone. So notice as she's touching it, you see the phone is noticing which one she's touching. So 1, 2, 3.
Okay, I'm waiting for the applications for this.
Okay, so she's gonna, she's gonna do send a message. Okay, so you can, it's got a remote touch sensor. There's like a barrette that has an Arduino controller in it and Bluetooth so that you can send the commands to your phone. And basically, they have 3 different locations on the hair extension that you can touch, like 3 different sections. And based on how you touch it, so if you just give it a tap, maybe it activates an app on your phone. And then maybe if you caress that lock, then it will do something like send your location, take a selfie, record a conversation, like do whatever you program it to do. So like here she is taking a selfie with her hair.
This is like some spy stuff right here.
It's totally.
You're in a situation, you're just like, oh, Mr. Evil Guy, what's your plan exactly?
Like, oh, Mr.
Hit
Bond.
record the whole thing.
It's like, oh,
that's
Mr.
crazy.
Bond.
Anyway,
Mr. Bond,
I like how it makes you look
about
flirtatious to have to like do all that stuff. That's crazy. Okay, we got any more?
So so it connects. She's saying that they already tested this at a conference in Atlanta. People were able to try it and they were able to take selfies with it. And so it is an actual functioning thing. This is a real thing. No word on commercial use and things like that. I have a feeling like some government is gonna like buy this lady, like not the hair. It's just to buy her and have her develop it like in-house. Like they're gonna like put her in some sort of secret facility somewhere.
Yeah, I can't see many of my lady friends being like, oh, I want to touch my hair and like take pictures or whatever. I mean, It seems like it's not really answering a problem. But I do like the spy.
Well, spy.
Angles.
There's of course like a spy
or
use,
like
but
safety.
Safety, that's the big one, where it's like if you don't feel safe in a situation, it might not be the best thing ever to like take your phone out and text somebody. So basically, you would program you would program your hair if you moved it in a certain way to text a friend, say I'm at this location. Here's my GPS coordinates. Please help. Or you would send it. You could text 9. I think in some countries you have the ability to actually text 911. I think we do too in certain states. But
this is another one I feel like most of our audience would have better ideas for this than we would.
Yeah.
Like mine was immediately like, you're drunk at a club and you can't, like, you're so drunk you can't drive. You just call your Uber by touching your hair.
Well, because you're already like, oh, hi, I'm wasted, like, or whatever. I would say, if I'm stressed out, like, maybe you pull on your hair a little bit, or you're just, like, frustrated, and then all of a sudden, like, a massage place comes. They're like, we noticed you were stressed out. We're going to give you a massage.
See, we're not good at these.
No.
We're not good at these. You come up with ones better, please. Thank you. All right.
So that's hairwear. Hairwear is a real thing, guys.
All right.
Capacitive hair.
Wait, I forgot. Is she trying to sell these?
No, not yet.
Okay.
They're just basically a prototype. She's a researcher at the Pontifical Catholic University of Rio de Janeiro. Mm-hmm. So this is like her big thing. So I would say number 1, use safety. Number 2, espionage. Those are your 2 options, really.
I think number 1, use espionage.
Safety in espionage. Mm-hmm. You need to get out of a drop point. You just use your hair. Weird. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. We will be right back. And when we come back, we have a kind of a backer racket. It's not a crowdfund. It's actually a voting thing. So I found this, though, and I thought it was interesting. And we also have your user feedback from last week, TD Brutus. And our phone togger for the day, so don't click away. It's Tomorrow Daily. So a really brief update on that poor drone that was swatted out of the sky by the monkey in our break video. The drone did not survive the terrible attack, but the GoPro did.
That monkey is wanted now in 15 states.
Yeah, he's on the run.
If you see that monkey, please call your local police officer.
He's armed and dangerous. I feel like this is a little different, but I feel like we could give them maybe votes, because that's what they're looking for votes in this situation. So I guess we vote or don't vote, okay?
Votes or don't vote.
Okay. Wearables, smartwatches, really big right now. Apple Watch pre-orders happened last Friday. People make a big deal out of it. Lot of wearables trying to kind of ride on the Apple Watch's coattails and pick up people who are like, I don't want an Apple Watch, but I may be interested in something else that sort of suits my needs. Because there are a lot of people who decided not to get an Apple Watch. So that's where Digitox comes in. So this company is called Digitox. Digitox? Digitox.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Digitox.
Yeah, Digitox. Kind of a weird alternate to a smartwatch, because in essence it makes your actual watch that you use right now into a sort of smartwatch. So
that's clever.
Yeah, this is pretty clever. So it's a little disc, and it attaches to any watch that you have, any regular old watch that you have, and you can make your favorite watch kind of an intelligent watch, and then they have this. You have this ability to kind of do a deep dive into your apps and say, I only want notifications like if this happens, or so here's the app. So it'll say like, only if I get these are the only notifications I want to get. If I get messages from these people, calls from these people, emails from these people. So, and you can also do keywords. So it's like, maybe you get a regular email from somebody with, I don't know, like a daily rundown of something at your job that you don't necessarily need to look at right away, but you want emails from them if it's not that email, if it's something else, you want to make sure you're notified, you can get those notifications. You can like program it very specifically to like notify you. So you're not getting like that fire hose of notifications where it's like your wrist is constantly buzzing.
Okay.
So that's the gist of it, is that you would be able to put this little disc on.
So you get a message and it vibrates your watch.
Yes. The disc has like a little.
But it's not like it changes the screen of your phone.
No, not at all.
It's just a little vibrating notification thing.
Yeah.
Okay. How much is it?
Okay, so the voting thing is actually they're not selling it. It's not a crowdfunding yet. It's part of a contest, I guess. Like Virgin Mobile is doing this contest called Pitch to Rich, which seems like a little Shark Tank kind of thing where people pitch their ideas and then everybody votes on it. It's online. I think it's a UK contest. And so people can vote on good ideas there. And like I said, they basically say two things. Their goals are they want you to be able to digitally detox on your smartwatches and stuff. They're like, basically, this is kind of the notification that most people really need with a smartwatch. They don't need to get every notification through their wrist. Like, you really only want the most important things, and that'll help you not look at your phone as often. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then the other part of it is a lot of people have a favorite watch, and they don't want a smartwatch. They want to be able to use their watch and get those notifications.
Do a lot of people have a favorite watch?
I would say there are a lot of people who wear a watch that have a favorite watch and wouldn't necessarily be interested in upgrading to an Apple Watch, but might be interested in something like this.
Do a lot of people have a watch?
Well, it depends. I mean, it depends on where you are in the world, one. And then two, it depends on, I mean, like, most people I know my age in this area don't wear watches. But like my husband wears a watch every day. But he doesn't have any interest in a smartwatch.
So how can this be, how is this better than if they had created an app that only makes my phone vibrate when I get an important message?
So I think the point is
how is that different? Especially since if this vibrates and it's like, oh, I got an email from my boss that says fired, and that's the keyword that I'm looking for. How does the watch vibrating make any sort of difference than my phone vibrating, whereas when it vibrates, then I look at it?
I think
How is that better?
I think that's a really good point, and I would say the only thing I would argue with is that a lot of people might not have their phones handy. Like if they sit at a desk, maybe their phone is like, across the desk, or maybe they have it in their computer bag. A lot of people, especially in the UK, a lot of people take the tube. A lot of people walk everywhere, so they're constantly using messenger bags, things like that. Maybe your phone would be in there as opposed to in your pocket. So I would say in that way, in your purse, in your messenger bag, your computer bag, your backpack, whatever, you can keep your phone in there, and then that way if something important comes in, you can get your phone out.
If you don't carry your phone in your pocket, and you also wear a watch.
It's very niche.
Yeah, and you also wear a watch, but you also need notifications with specific keywords because you get messaged that much.
Right.
Then this is the device for you.
Exactly. So I figured it was
cool.
interesting. No, I wanted to bring this to you because I thought you would have interesting things to say about it, which you do. I think those are really good arguments. I think that's a really
It's very
niche,
specific. I feel like they
very
could
niche
work
use.
something out here. Like it could make sense.
There's some potential.
But you gotta have a watch already. Like.
Yeah. Well, maybe you
This
could
is
probably
like
do it with.
this is like almost like half tech. Like this is almost.
You
I
could
feel like
probably
there's.
do it with a
I'm
leather
sure there's,
cuff. You could probably do it with a cuff. You could probably do it with a thicker bracelet because it doesn't look huge. So you could probably put it on one of those things. Like you wouldn't necessarily be beholden to a watch, but I think that's sort of what they're marketing it as. So would you give it a vote or no?
I don't know any of the other contestants of this contest.
Fair enough. But regardless.
But I don't, because I'm going to do like on Shark Tank, I don't really know much about watches, nor do I wear a watch typically, so I'm out.
I think I'm with you. I also
It's
do
not that
wear
it's
a watch.
not cool tech.
It also, it feels like this
but
will be.
It's just not cool enough.
To me, it feels like this would be really useful in areas where people, use a lot of public transportation and have their phones in bags and stuff. Like
the fact that you're having to list stuff already.
But that's it, right. It's very niche. Like this is a very narrow use case for, I would say it's a very narrow use case. So I'd say no.
I can't even think of messages that, again, my phone vibrates when something is up.
Yeah.
And I can tell it hey, don't alert me unless this happens.
Right.
And then not only that, when it goes off, my girlfriend is, is leaving me, then I can look at it and be like, oh no.
She says you're fired.
Emoji.
You're like sad emoji. But
I don't know.
there are apps that allow you to really kind of dig deep into whitelisting and all that stuff. So I say no, but I did think it was interesting enough to bring on the show.
Logan, your vote?
Nope.
He says nope.
3 nopes.
3 nopes.
That's pretty
harsh.
But
Very
hey,
harsh.
maybe they came up with a new use for it. I'm telling you, there needs to be another use there. Something's missing. I'm out.
Okay, fair enough. So let us know what you guys think.
What's it called again so people can look it up?
It is called Digitox.
Digitox.
But talk like the clock.
Yeah,
TikTok.
like TikTok,
Yeah,
not
like
TOX.
TikTok. Yeah,
like
Digitox.
Toxic Avengers.
Okay, guys, it's time to talk about what you think about different things that we put up on the show. It is time for user feedback. Okay, so last week we saw the adorable dog Brutus, who had 4 prosthetic legs.
Yeah.
Prosthetic legs? I know.
This is the second time you've tried to use that.
Bottweiler? No? All right. So you guys had some really great ideas on what you would also like to add to Brutus's repertoire of abilities to make him sort of a super dog.
All right, let's hear
really
it.
good ones. I'm going to try to pronounce this, and I'm sorry if I mess it up. Dumiso says, I would give Brutus a pair of sleep fangs that inject sleep serum into bad guys, leaving them knocked out for the cops.
Holy crap.
I love that. Gregory wrote in and said, I think Brutus should have telescoping legs so he doesn't have to jump up on you to lick your face. He could walk long distances in just a few steps, and he could fetch kites while they're still in the air. I love that one.
That's like Mega Man's dog.
I was going to say Go-Go Gadget. It's like Go-Go Gadget dog.
Yeah, but Mega Man's dog already has those
those
extendo
telescoping
legs.
legs, yeah.
I forgot what his name is.
And
Tell me
then,
what his name is if you remember.
yeah, please. Somebody's screaming at us right now. That dog's there, business. Michael wrote in and said, I would make Brutus like Spyro the Dragon and give him fire breath.
I don't get, what was the goal here, to make him kill people?
No, he's a super dog. He can fight crime.
Okay.
Sleep serum. He's putting him to sleep.
It sounds like the judgment. It's like Batman. Like he's making the judgment call to burn someone alive, and he's a dog.
Put them to sleep and leave them for the cops.
Again, also scary.
Noah just actually made a really good point. Not an upgrade, but said Brutus still needs a poop catcher, and sent us this, which I did not realize that is a real product. Poo Trap. It's like a harness on a dog with a bag on the back, which. Man, if you're putting your dog in that, we need to have a talk, you guys.
I like the idea that he has to like carry it around.
I know.
Like, oh my God. Okay, so that was great.
The toilet. That made me laugh.
Good, perfect, good job.
Frank wrote in and said, #BatDog. He looks like Batman's dog. Give him a bionic bat wing so when he gets tired of walking, he can just fly away.
Again with the flying.
I like it. I love a flying dog to fly around. No, and then that's where we use the bat.
I like it. I like the bat one.
And then very lastly, I thought this was very sweet. Neil wrote in and said, I would give Brutus a hug. And now we all feel good about ourselves. Except for Khail, because he has no heart.
That's not how it works, dude.
And then Brutus, you give Brutus a hug, and then Brutus would bite you with his sleep fangs and knock you out and run away.
See, I don't want to make him more deadly. He's just a sweet guy. I said I'd make him camo.
Dog. I love him.
All right.
All right. So our very last piece of user feedback, as always, is our phone talker for the day. You're gonna like this. This picture's from Tim. Tim wrote in and said, good morning, Tomorrow Daily team. I am living in an old, beautiful city in a northern part of Germany called Lübeck. By the way, this is the city where marzipan was invented.
Ooh, marzipan.
Marzipan. I always liked the old charm of it, but never really discovered it completely. So when my exchange partner from France came, me and my friends went on a small tour through the city. When we were on the St. Petri Church Tower, I took this picture of the Holsten Gate in the bottom right, which we'll be able to see it a little bigger. It's got the little peaks, and then there's a little arch there. He said, the only thing I added was a gradient map in Photoshop for the black and white filter, quote unquote. I hope you like it. Best wishes and a successful show, Tim. He took that with an iPhone 4S.
Yeah, that looks incredibly cinematic. Well done.
It's such a nice picture. That's like one to frame, maybe.
Yeah, I like it. He chose right with the black and white.
Yeah,
makes it look really old.
And got a really nice like foreground with the beam, and then there's like the gate, and then all the way in the back you can sort of see like the rest of the city. It's kind of cool.
Nicely done, Tim.
Very good, Tim. We like it. We like it.
It looks like he actually took this photo from the past.
It does. Send it in a time machine.
Hello, it's Tim. Just sending this wonderful photo to you.
From the fabulous German city of Lübeck.
Good luck with that internet.
Yes. So if you guys want to send in your photography, or if you want to send in user feedback, if you want to send in anything else, we are happy to oblige and read your emails. We can't respond to all of them. We do read them. You can email us tomorrow@cnet.com. We're also on social media, Snapchat, Tumblr, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tomorrow Daily, and then Tomorrow Daily TV on Google+.
Don't forget to do all that YouTube stuff too. You know what to do. And then if you're listening on the iTunes podcast, don't forget to rate and review. And follow us on our personal Twitters.
Yeah.
I'm Khail Anonymous.
And I'm at Ashley Skella. That's it for today's show. We will be back tomorrow with some new releases. It's Tuesday. And we'll also have some other cool, awesome science tech, science fact, science fiction all crashing together.
Oh my God, Grand Theft Auto comes out tomorrow on PC.
Logan! Never gonna see Khail. We're never gonna see Khail again after tomorrow because Grand Theft Auto. So say bye to Khail forever, everybody, and we'll see you guys next time. Be good humans. Bye.